News with Gary Liberatore and meteorologist Eric Gage.
Good morning, everyone, and thank you for joining us here on this Thursday morning. I'm Gary Liberatore.
And I'm Storm Tracker 2 meteorologist Eric Gage.
Yeah, another damp morning out there. It seems like we're in a new trend now.
Yeah, but I will say this, it's not going to last too long before you know it, Gary. The sun will be shining again. We'll have a pretty nice weekend.
All right.
Yeah, we got to get to the rainfall first. Let's take a look at the radar right now. If you didn't notice, or if you haven't looked outside yet, you're going to see some pretty damp roadways, plenty of leaves on the ground too, and I'll get to that in just a minute. But first, let's recap the last, say, 3 or 4 hours here. And you notice some pretty decent rain moving through the area. Even some thunder reported in the northwestern portion of Oneida County. I was thinking about that possibility yesterday, and just one isolated instance of that. Actually, I'll stand corrected too. There's one in Schoharie County as well that also took place. But either way, a lot of the area saw a few scattered showers, even a few heavier rain showers, and that produced a lot of leaves falling on the roadways. Now, it's pretty damp out there this morning. Most of that rain has already ended. There are still some locations up north that are still seeing some decent rain, but for now, again, expect the morning to be drying up a little bit, but by the afternoon, a few more showers arrive. We are cutting it close for pretty significant rainfall. Now, yesterday I mentioned we were on the edge of it. Now, today I've got new information, more confirmed outlook on what we can expect today. We'll have the details on that timing of rain, plus what follows it as we head into our first weekend of fall in that full forecast. Gary?
Eric, thanks. Rome Mayor Jeff Lanigan presented some.
This live look of downtown Cooperstown is brought to you by the Leatherstocking Credit Union.
Happy Thursday, everybody. Time now is 5:12, going on 5:13, and early this morning we are starting out with some wet roadways. And something I mentioned too, yes, it's damp out, the roads are wet. That's not really a big traffic issue, but just as a heads up, when you have rain falling and you have leaves falling too, roads might get a little slick, especially if you're going downhill. If you see a pile of leaves and the roads are wet, take it easy stopping or braking, because those leaves can get pretty slick. A look at the Yorkville Battery Storm Tracker 2 live radar. Is currently raining in northern Oneida County right now. A few sprinkles in other spots here across the Mohawk Valley. And again, aside from the rainfall, the traffic tracker is showing green across the board for most of central New York early today. So again, you head out this morning, patchy fog, some lingering rainfall, cloudy skies this afternoon. Rain develops again with temperatures peaking near 70 degrees. And again, we're going to time out that rainfall and talk a bit more about the impacts of the leaves on the roads coming up in a few minutes. Gary?
Eric, thanks. A program that helps.
The WKTV Tower Cam is brought to you by the Central Association for the Blind and Visually Impaired. From Central New York's most dependable weather team, here's meteorologist Eric Gage.
It's a little foggy up here on Smith Hill and Deerfield, where our TV station is currently airing from on this Thursday morning. Good morning, everybody. Other spots in central New York, for example, Cooperstown, a live view out down there. Not nearly as foggy, but still a little bit damp after some of those rain showers move through overnight. Temperature of 64 degrees to start your day today. Now, again, the radar right now is showing a lot of activity in northern Oneida County, northern Herkimer County, and southern Lewis County. In fact, we zoom out a little bit, you can see the path of the system as it's moving its way through. And so primarily just on the foothills of Tug Hill right now, heading north. Behind it, there's a whole lot less activity. This dry slot, as expected, is going to move in. So this morning is not going to be as active in terms of rainfall compared to the overnight hours. So in the wake of this warm front moving in, it's going to be quiet until this surge of moisture moves through this evening. And yesterday, I mentioned we're going to be cutting it close for extremely heavy rainfall. And today, we have the answer as to how close we are. And we're going to be narrowly missing it. We're not getting directly hit by this band of rain, as you can see here. Those yellows, that means in that yellow zone, some spots could pick up an additional 1 or 2 inches. And I'll show that rainfall map here in a second. But first, a safety tip. With the rainfall last night, there are wet leaves in the roadways. And a reminder, wet leaves are as slippery as ice. If you see a wet road and there's a lot of leaves on it, pretend that is ice on the road and just gradually slow down. If you slow down too quick, your car could likely slip on the road. Just a heads up for that. In the meantime, while weather is going to be quieting down a little bit following today, we've got some pretty significant activity taking place in the tropics right now. We currently have one tropical storm developing out near parts of Puerto Rico, Invest 94L, which is expected to develop into a tropical storm. And something to monitor is what's called the Fujiwara effect. Basically, you've got two areas of low pressure which could influence each other, similar to, you see two whirlpools in a lake or a pond. They could still influence each other, and that's what we're going to be closely watching. For now, neither of these are going to directly impact central New York. We'll keep a close eye on it. Still, though, we take a look at the rainfall accumulation map, and this is what I mean. We have a narrow miss. A lot of that heavy rain stays out toward the Catskills and Hudson Valley. In the meantime, here locally, expect that rainfall to develop. We're not done with rain today, but just that heaviest of rain stays to our east. Following that, it's going to be cloudy overnight, lingering drizzle on Friday, and as we head throughout Friday afternoon, we're going to see conditions dry up with some more sunshine, eventually heading into what will be a very pleasant weekend. Look at this, Saturday, Sunday, 75 to 79 degrees, plenty of sunshine, and that will kick off what we've been typically seeing over the past couple of weeks, which is a lot more sunshine by next week. So this is not a telltale sign of a major pattern shift. That shift will go right back to what it used to be for pretty much all of September. So this is what I mean is I don't think it's going to be a drought buster, but we get any rain, this is definitely going to help.
Another gorgeous weekend ahead.
Yeah, looking forward to that.
We're on quite a run here.
It's insane how many nice weekends we've had so far.
Lucky us. The time right now is 5:22. Still ahead on Sunrise. Thank you for joining us for this half hour. I'm Gary Liberatore. If you're getting ready to head outside, get ready to possibly face some fog once again. Meteorologist Eric Gage joining us, and Eric, it seems to be a theme these past few days at least.
Yes, and compared to last week, that fog was due to how cold it was in the mornings. Today and even yesterday, it's warmer, but there's so much moisture in the air that we have that fog developing. But on top of the fog, there's actually some rain showers taking place. Take a look at the radar right now. Heading up toward northern Oneida County and northern Herkimer County, that rain is still falling in some spots at a pretty decent rate. Now, a storm is currently actually just put a lightning bolt right here. Let me go back a little bit. I believe it's north of Old Forge, north of Inlet, probably towards Racket Lake. So that area up north, that thunderstorm is still brewing a few lightning bolts at this hour. So that's moving its way north. Things are going to gradually quiet down. A live look in Old Forge early this morning. Temperature 61 degrees with, you can see right there, those damp roadways. Now today, a dry slot moves in this morning. That's going to quiet things down a little bit. But as we head into this afternoon, more rain begins to arrive. Beneficial rain, because following this, there could be a pretty dry stretch ahead. We're going to track the rainfall timing today, plus the latest on the tropics. There's potentially 2 tropical storms, maybe even 2 hurricanes developing right along the Atlantic coast. We'll talk about that coming up in a few minutes. Gary?
Eric, thanks. Investigators are searching for a...
This live look of downtown Cooperstown is brought to you by the Leatherstocking Credit Union.
Welcome back, everybody, to Sunrise on this Thursday morning. As always, we enter the fall season. It's just time to showcase fall colors, the beauty of our area. And this photo right here was sent in by a frequent submitter in Baldwinsville. Look at this shot here by Yvette. And amazing photo of the railroad tracks and the leaves starting to fall. And my favorite time is driving through those old back roads, potentially seasonal roads, with the canopy of trees, the changing colors. It's just such a gorgeous scene. You don't get that too often throughout the year for obvious reasons. The leaves don't change all year long. But either way, canopies like this, amazing just to take walks down. Now, again, hopefully there's no train coming. Again, that's one of the things I'm going to worry about there. But either way, even a photo like that you like to share with us, send it to WKTV.com/weather/picks. In the last couple of days, we have received so many great fall color submissions. I can't wait to showcase you more of them. And of course, we'll have that tomorrow and as well as next week. Gary?
Eric, thanks. More people are surviving cancer.
Most dependable weather team. Here's meteorologist Eric Gage.
Good morning, everybody. On this Thursday, we got a few areas of rain showers are tracking today. It's unsettled to begin. In fact, take a look outside in Cooperstown right now where, yeah, it's drying up a little bit. Still got some damp roadways out there. Temperature 64 degrees, so the temperature is definitely not cold by any means. Don't really need a jacket today. Well, actually, if you do need a jacket, it'd be more of a rain jacket, especially for those of you up in northern Herkimer County, Old Forge Inlet. You got some rainfall taking place right now. We zoom out a little bit. The heaviest of rain has already exited. As expected, we are entering somewhat of a dry slot right now. That'll mean that we're going to be seeing cloudy skies and maybe a brief passing shower, but it's going to be not a consistent rainfall like we saw overnight. And this is part of a much larger system. In this dry slot right here, things are dry for now, but as we head into this afternoon, we're going to see that rainfall begin to return. This is the time frame between 3 and 6 p.m. today. Now, the good news is the heavy rain stays out to our east. If you're wondering, well, if it's so dry out, why are we saying good news for heavy rain? Because again, the heavy rain, if it comes in too quickly, it's just going to wash away. It's not going to soak into the soil. So we get this lighter rain. This is great news for our very dry stretch of weather. Following that, though, dry weather begins to return again, and we can see right here what could be remnants of a tropical storm or hurricane. We'll talk about that here in a second. First off, though, a safety alert to tell you about. With the rainfall last night, there's a lot of leaves on some roads, especially heading up north. And a reminder that wet leaves are as slippery as ice. So if you see an area of leaves on the road and it's damp out, take precautions, slow down carefully because, again, leaves are extremely slippery, especially when wet. So I mentioned there's some activity brewing in the tropics. There are 2 tropical storms currently, I should say 1 tropical storm and 1 hurricane currently, and we have an invest here expected to develop into a tropical storm or hurricane very quickly. As you can see here, we have what's called the Fujiwara effect. Basically, there are 2 hurricanes or 2 areas of low pressure side by side. They will interact with each other as if there are whirlpools in a puddle or an area of water. And so with that in mind, these could influence each other, and a normal forecast might not be entirely accurate. Still, though, when it comes to our conditions here locally, we're not expecting any direct impacts from any of those hurricanes or tropical storms. Rainfall today, primarily staying to the east, at least the heaviest of rain staying to our east. And we can see that developing right here. Heavy rain near the Catskills, still some lingering showers heading into this afternoon. And then by tonight, lingering clouds and areas of patchy drizzle heading into early Friday. By Friday afternoon, though, a stray shower turns to plenty of sunshine by the evening. 7-day forecast. Weekend not looking too bad. 75 on Saturday, 79 on Sunday with lots of sunshine. Again, we'll keep a close eye on the rainfall moving up the coast, but following that, it does dry up again, at least, or continues to remain dry and sunny heading into the middle of next week. We'll be right back.
News with Gary Liberatore and meteorologist Eric Gage.
Good morning, everyone, and thank you for joining us here on this Thursday morning. I'm Gary Liberatore.
And I'm Storm Tracker 2 meteorologist Eric Gage.
And that radar is lit up this morning.
Yeah, it's been quite a while since we've seen that much busy activity on the radar. And yeah, the North Country seeing still some rainfall. We're drying up a little bit here locally. Let's take a look at what's going on across pretty much all of central New York, North Country, southern valleys. First off, let's begin in the North Country. You got some rainfall moving its way north. It's currently impacting Old Forge up north near Racket Lake, where there have been some rumbles of thunder reported too. But we are entering a dry slot temporarily. You can see here things are quieting down a little bit in the Mohawk Valley and south. South of Binghamton, though, you notice here we got some rain beginning to arrive once more. That is going to push its way north, impacting parts of our area. Eventually, that's going to shift its way east. So when it comes to rainfall today, we are not done with it just yet. We just got this little bit of a lull in that rainfall activity. In the meantime, rain's currently falling in Old Forge, temperature 61 degrees. Other parts of central New York in the mid-60s, so not too cool of an overnight. Now by this afternoon, we approach the low 70s. Notice here we got rain icons, but it's not quite rainy all morning long. With the better shot for rainfall developing in the afternoon. It will gradually dry up this evening with the passage of that cold front. Now we're going to be following the timing of this rainfall today in a lot more detail hour by hour. Rainfall totals and all the latest when it comes to when things begin to dry up heading into the weekend coming up in a few minutes. Gary?
Eric, thanks. Rome Mayor Jeff Flanagan presented some.
This live look of downtown Cooperstown is brought to you by the Leatherstocking Credit Union.
Welcome back to Sunrise on this Thursday. Time now 6:13, going on 6:14 in a couple of minutes. And as we take a look at what's going on outside this morning, we have a live view of some traffic cameras. A little damp out there, especially as you head up toward the Adirondacks. You got some of those rain showers, a bit moderate in terms of that rainfall rate at times. But either way, damp roadways, a reminder when we have leaves falling and the roadways are wet, just to slow down a lot more on the slower side when you brake slowly, because leaves can be very slippery when wet. A look at the radar, we can see a few areas of showers north of Rome, just in between Rome and Boonville, and up just north of Old Forge, another shower there too. It's mostly quiet to the south, a few stray showers in Shenango and Madison County, but those are nowhere near as notable. Either way, we're going to see a lot more rainfall develop as we head throughout this afternoon. Traffic tracker, green across the board, no accidents to report. And this morning, we got some patchy fog, not nearly as widespread as yesterday. But either way, cloudy skies give way to rain showers this afternoon with highs near 70. So we're going to track the timing of this rainfall, how much rain we could see, and the latest on some tropical developments along the Atlantic coast. Will that impact us? All that coming up in just a few minutes. Gary?
Eric, thanks. A program that helps SUNY students.
The WKTV Tower Cam is brought to you by the Central Association for the Blind and Visually Impaired. From Central New York's most dependable weather team, here's meteorologist Eric Gage.
Good morning, everybody. On this Thursday, today we are starting out with some damp conditions. Overnight rain showers passed over central New York. We take a live look at downtown Utica, where the rainfall has progressively tapered off. For the most part, we take a look up north, a different story. Some rain showers heading toward Boonville, just in the northeastern portion of Oneida County right now, and some lingering spots up Route 28 closer to Old Forge. We zoom out. Again, a lot of that heaviest of rain has since exited, but we're not done with it just yet. Yes, we have a dry slot right now, but there's more rain on the way. It's currently south of Binghamton right now, moving its way into Shenango County in the next couple of hours. So this is part of a much larger system. This was the initial wave of rain that moved through overnight. Following that, we're going to see another round of rainfall arrive this afternoon. Now, we cut it close in terms of where that heaviest rain falls, and maybe the I-88 corridor will see some of that heaviest of rain. It is expected to primarily fall east, though, which is good news for us. We don't want all that heavy rain. We want to have some steady, light to moderate rainfall here locally. So that takes place. It exits, it dries up following some early drizzle Friday morning, turning to sunshine by Saturday. Notice here we got some green on the radar. We'll show what that is here coming up in a second. First, though, a safety reminder. Wet leaves are as slippery as ice. If you are driving on a roadway, especially downhill, and you see leaves in the road, pretend that is basically an ice patch. You mix those two factors of leaves and wet roads, and it gets pretty slippery. If you go 40 miles an hour, the stopping distance could be as long as 250 feet. To put into account a dry road, around 80 feet. Just a heads up when it comes to the conditions in the roadways today. When it comes to rainfall accumulation, this is what we were talking about yesterday, and we were on the fringe of heavy rainfall. Now today, I'm a little more confident in my forecast that heavy rain stays to our south and to our east. We still could see a round of decent rain showers passing through parts of central New York, maybe an inch or so of accumulation, but again, a lot of that rainfall passing to our east. So today, showers move in, heaviest of rain passing through the Catskills this afternoon, I should say this evening and tonight. Rainfall does taper off. Clouds and drizzle to start your day Friday, turning to sunshine by Friday afternoon and Friday evening. And then following that, the weekend so far looking rather pleasant. But still, there is some activity taking place in the tropics right now. We have Tropical Storm Humberto and Invest 94L, which is expected to form into at least a hurricane or tropical storm that could move up into the U.S. coast. It doesn't directly impact us here locally, but it's something to track because this could reach the mainland U.S. 7-day forecast. Weekend looking pretty nice, sunshine, 70s next week. Overall pattern points to some more dry weather. So this is not a pattern shift, switching to all rain all the time. We got plenty of opportunity to enjoy some nice weather for the first full weeks of fall.
Yeah, just get through today.
Yeah, we're back to some sunshine before you know it.
A nice long stretch, too. And be sure to like us on Facebook and joining us for this half hour. I'm Gary Liberatore, meteorologist Eric Gage over in the Weather Center. And Eric, that drought seems to have taken at least a temporary end right here.
Yeah, we have some beneficial rain that moved through overnight. Some areas of New York State picking up over an inch of rain. In fact, let's go to the radar here in a second, and we can see where those locations have been taking place. Again, primarily up in this corridor here in northwestern Ada County, Lewis County, northern Herkimer County. It's where the heaviest of rain has fallen over the past several hours. We, in fact, actually put a time lapse here to see how things have shaped up. See that heavy rainfall that moved through a thunderstorm, moved through that area. So Camden, parts of West Leiden heading toward Old Forge, got to see a thunder shower overnight. Now, at this hour, things have dried up. We're in a dry slot right now. But to our south, there are a few rumbles of thunder and some showers slowly moving in. They're going to start to progress their way this way and then slowly move their way east. So we're not going to see the heaviest of rain today, but still expect to see a rainy afternoon. A live look at Old Forge. The rain is falling. Temperature 60 degrees right now. It is a warm start to the day, especially in the Mohawk Valley with temperatures in the mid-60s currently. This afternoon, near 70. Rain showers develop. Now, as we head into tonight, things are going to quiet down. But in the meantime, we're going to talk about the timing of this rainfall, how much rain we could see. And following that, an update on the tropics and if they could impact us here locally coming up in a few minutes. Gary?
Eric, thanks. Investigators are searching for...
2 is brought to you by Holland Farms Bakery and Deli.
Welcome back to Sunrise, everybody, on this Thursday morning. Our fall foliage trip around central New York continues. This photo right here, taken in Baldwinsville by a frequent submitter here of some nice fall colors right on the railroad tracks, sent in by Yvette. An amazing photo right here. Personally, one of my favorite things to do in the fall season is to go on some back roads, potentially some seasonal roads, and just walk or drive through the canopy that you have above you of those vibrant colors. So can't wait to look forward to that, especially over the next couple of weeks. So if you have a photo you'd like to share with us of fall foliage, send it to WKTV.com/weather/pics. We've had a lot of amazing submissions over the past few days, and I can't wait for even more showcasing that foliage all across central New York and beyond. So today it is a quiet start, or at least is a quiet start relative to what took place overnight with rain showers moving through. Now we're in a dry slot, but more rain is on the way. We'll track those rain showers in a lot more detail hour by hour coming up in that full forecast. Gary?
Eric, thanks. More people are surviving cancer.
New York's most dependable weather team. Here's meteorologist Eric Gage.
Good morning, everybody. On this Thursday, we are starting out with cloudy skies after some overnight rainfall. In fact, a live look in Utica right now. Still some damp roadways, but things are progressively drying up a little bit. But that's not what's going to be expecting pretty much for the majority of the day today. The reason for it, we have some rainfall starting to arrive again from the south. We're in a dry slot right here directly over the Mohawk Valley. Rainfall currently taking place just south of Old Forge, heading down Route 28 in northern Oneida County, right there north of Boonville. We zoom out. Much of that widespread rain has exited, but still, as you can see here, down toward Binghamton, we have a thunderstorm that's moving its way potentially into Otsego County in the next hour, hour and a half. So just a heads up, southern Otsego County could be seeing that shower moving in. In fact, we can see it right here. Thunderstorm passing through Binghamton, heading closer to Route 88 there. So a bigger picture shows that initial surge of rainfall exiting. We're in that dry slot, but again, we've got more rainfall arriving this afternoon. Now, the heaviest of rain, I mentioned yesterday, we were on the fringe of seeing that band right here, but it's pushing to the east. We're not going to see those extremely high rainfall totals, but we still have some more rain on the way, so we're not out of the woods with that. By the way, what is showing up right here could be what's left of an approaching hurricane or a tropical storm. We'll talk about that there in a second. But just a quick heads up, a safety alert to pass along. A reminder that wet leaves are as slippery as ice. Now, there are a lot of leaves in the roads this morning from that rainfall last night, and the roads are damp as well. And a reminder that if you have a speed of around 40 miles an hour, 250 feet to stop on those wet roads with leaves. Comparison to a dry road, which is around 80 feet of stopping distance. Just a heads up to make sure you're aware of those slippery conditions out there today. In terms of rainfall, again, as I mentioned, that heaviest rain band is going to move its way to our east. We're on the fringe of it right now, but still a lot of that heaviest of rain will take place toward the Catskills. So today, again, rain showers move in. Temperatures upper 60s, near 70. Overcast overnights with a few passing sprinkles and drizzle in the afternoon. A passing shower turns to sunshine by the evening, and highs in the mid-70s. So not too bad of a day tomorrow. In the meantime, pretty active tropics so far. We have Hurricane Gabrielle, which is heading outside of our area. But we have Humberto right now, a tropical storm, and what will be Invest 94L right here. They could be going side by side. This one right here we're going to closely watch because that could move its way into mainland U.S., potentially along the Carolinas or hugging the Atlantic coast. So keep a close eye on it. For now, we're not expecting any direct impacts here in central New York with that potential tropical storm or hurricane. Following this rainy stretch, it does dry up on Saturday and Sunday. Not too bad of a weekend for our first weekend of fall, and that dry stretch continues through next week, Gary. So this rainy stretch, it came and it went. It's going to dry up by tonight and tomorrow, and then more sunshine moves its way back in.
Head up to the Remsen Barn Fest this week in gorgeous weather.
We got great weather for that, Gary. Looking forward to it.
That's for sure. Eric, thanks. Highway crews. Eric Gage joining us now, and I know this just came up, but you were mentioning a tornado warning to our south, right?
Yes, and thankfully right now it's not going to directly impact us. But I want to give a heads up because I know some of you watching might have friends or family in that area. For now, again, a look at the current conditions. Reminder, this tornado warning is not impacting central New York by any means. But here's a look at it. It's in Sullivan County. It's right along the border of Pennsylvania and New York. We zoom out a little bit. Here's the path of it. It's going to be heading its way north and east toward Albany. So we're going to continue to track that tornado warning throughout the entire newscast today. The main factor of this is there's embedded rotation along this cloud of rainfall. This is not an organized supercell storm, which typically produces tornadoes. This is one of those embedded rotation scenarios here. So there is rotation still there. The warning expires at 12:15. If I go to the correlation coefficient here, the good news is we're not tracking anything in forms of debris at this point. Nothing really indicative of that. So that's the good news. It means there's no confirmed reports of tornadoes on the ground. But again, if you know anyone in Sullivan County, friends and family, give them a heads up. They want to take this warning seriously, head indoors if they can, or into a basement, centermost portion of your home. Oneonta, a live view out there. Still, it's a rainy one out there. No warnings in effect for Oneonta. Again, that passes just south of you guys. But still, rainfall continues this afternoon. It does clear out a little bit tonight with clouds and lingering drizzle. We're going to recap so far this rain event, if it's on track, what's to follow it, and more on the conditions following this rainy stretch heading into the weekend in that full forecast. Gary?
Eric, thanks. New York State has
The WKTV Tower Cam is brought to you by the Central Association for the Blind and Visually Impaired. From Central New York's most dependable weather team, here's meteorologist Eric Gage.
Good afternoon. We have that widespread rain moving through central New York for the next few hours. We take a look outside. It's a rainy downtown Utica. Temperature officially at 66 in Rome with heavy rain reported. And the reason for that, look at the radar. There's a single band of heavier rainfall right along this boundary here. I don't believe this is the actual cold front. I'll have to look at the temperature and dew point profiles here in a second. This could be a leading edge ahead of that cold front moving in from the west. Either way, the heaviest of rainfall, as expected, is taking place south and east of Utica. Still, I mentioned we're going to keep a close eye on this tornado warning, which is currently in Sullivan County. It is now, actually, as soon as I say that, they have just extended the tornado warning outside of Rockland. Again, still in Sullivan County, just heading up into the Catskills right here. I'm going to turn the velocity scan here to keep a close eye on this to see if anything really is going to develop. And for right now, again, good news is there's nothing indicating there's anything on the ground. Still, embedded rotation. Want to take it seriously. So if you know anyone in that area, friends or family, let them know that there's a tornado warning in effect. Usually in those areas they have warnings sent to the phone, but just to be safe, we're going to keep a close eye on it throughout the newscast. So for right now, warm front's going to usher in some more rainfall today. By tonight, that cold front's going to push through, drying things up a little bit. Now it's going to be unsettled and damp to start your day Friday. But as we head into Friday afternoon, the sunshine returns. A few more clouds roll in Saturday. There's low pressure to our south. Much of that rainfall stays outside of our area. So again, our initial thoughts this morning were that this rainfall, the heaviest rain, would stay to our south and east. So far that's panning out. The only exception was that overperforming storm in northwestern United County that took place overnight into early this morning. That produced inch and a half, some spots 2 inches of rainfall. So that was the outlier in what so far is panning out to be a typical forecast for this type of setup here. So today, again, that rainfall moves through. That cold front finally passes over us by this evening, and then we'll see the conditions dry up a little bit. Still some drizzle and clouds, but then by the afternoon Friday, sunshine moves in, a stray shower. That's really about it. Saturday looking dry, a sunny start after some morning fog, but then we'll see a few high-level clouds come in. It's going to be some milky skies due to that low pressure south of us. Again, for right now, rain is not expected to arrive on Saturday. And again, a quick preview of what's going on in the tropics. A lot of activity. We have Umberto taking place right here, tropical storm Invest 94L, which is expected to develop into at least a tropical storm within the next 48 hours, and it's going to hook up the Atlantic coast. There's a lot of uncertainty with the path of this because there's what's called the Fujiwara effect, where basically these two systems right here might interact and rotate around one another. So if you know anyone in the Atlantic coast along parts of South Carolina, North Carolina, Georgia, just make sure they have the latest information from the National Hurricane Center or any local meteorologists down there, because this is something that could make landfall, Gary. I mean, it's still far out there, but we don't really know with these types of setups if they're going to hit land or not. So something to keep an eye out for. For now, it's not expected to hit us here locally, though, which is good news.
You rarely see two so close to each other.
Yeah, quiet season, then two right next to each other. Yeah. It's crazy how the season turned out.
Eric, thanks. Coming up, Jimmy Kimmel back on the air for us. Meteorologist Eric Gage joining us now. And Eric, some breaking news about a tornado, right?
Yes, in Sullivan County, the tornado was confirmed. That means a tornado is on the ground right now, currently in Sullivan County. We take a look right here in the radar. Again, it's just outside of Rockland. This is not impacting central New York right now, but a warning, I believe, just has been extended. This appears to have gone farther north as well, impacting the portion right here of Delaware County, including Route 30 and Roxbury out there. So let's zoom in right now. These towns right here will be affected: Turnwood, Grant Mills, Margaretville, and sorry, I can't pronounce that town there. But either way, in this zone right here, there are locations in there that can be in the path of this tornado. So we zoom out again. This is outside our area right here in the Catskill. This is not impacting central New York by any means. But again, we look at the velocity scans, there's rotation. I want to go to the correlation coefficient here. Basically, we can look at debris and what appears to be a debris signature on top of wind damage that was reported farther south. So again, confirmed tornado in Sullivan County heading up north and east. If you know anyone, friends and family in this area, make sure they have ways to receive warnings, get into the centermost portion of their home, or get into a basement. Our vantage point from Oneonta, again, there are no warnings in Otsego County right now, the closest county to that tornado. This is just a regular rainfall at this point in time. So again, today, we're going to continue to see these rain showers gradually, and we'll have continued updates on that tornado coming up in a few minutes. Gary?
Eric, thanks. The Justice Department is...
The WKTV Tower Cam is brought to you by the Central Association for the Blind and Visually Impaired. From Central New York's most dependable weather team, here's meteorologist Eric Gage.
Good afternoon. All across central New York, the rain is falling. But again, the big story, a confirmed tornado down in Sullivan County, which is now extending into Delaware County. Now, again, we don't officially cover that area, but I know some of you might know friends and family down in Delaware County. I want to make sure they're informed and up to date so you can, or at least if you are informed and up to date, to let your family and friends know about this. There's that confirmed tornado warning. It's in pink. Anytime we see a pink box here in the radar, that means the tornado is either visibly confirmed by someone on the ground or there's enough debris signature to confirm that. Now, what locations? Roxbury, Margaretville, right along this road right here. If you know anyone right along this corridor right here in that tornado warning, make sure they have tools to make sure they're aware of any updates, make sure they are in a centermost portion of their home and basements. I'm putting this correlation coefficient out right now because what I'm looking at right here, what I think I'm looking at right here is debris signature, which is most likely what triggered this confirmed warning. So with this in mind, that confirmed warning means there's a tornado on the ground, or it was on the ground. So this is something you have to take very seriously. So again, Delaware County, east of Delhi, if you know anyone in the Margarettsville and Roxbury area, let them know immediately they are in a tornado path right now. This is not a potential situation. This is a life-threatening situation that you should take seriously. In the meantime, again, in our area, Otsego County, Herkimer County, Oneida County, there are no warnings in effect. There's currently nothing concerning going on right now. This is only for locations south and east of us. That warning also, that tornado is not expected to enter our area by any means. Anyways, it's going to push its way east and north. So this is part of a much larger system taking place right now. There's that warm front, a trailing cold front moves through this evening. That's going to dry things up a little bit. There will still be some lingering drizzle and clouds tomorrow, but then we'll see that sunshine roll its way in. And for now, so far the forecast appears on track, the exception being an overperforming storm in northwestern Oneida County, which dropped 1.5 inches to 2 inches of rain along that corridor heading into Lewis County. So that's the overperformer right now. Still, we're just waiting for this system to pass. This is producing pretty beneficial rainfall, by the way. A lot of pockets picking up 1/2 inch, again as high as 1.5 inches, 2 inches. So this system moves its way east. Then we dry up, lingering clouds overnight into early Friday. Those clouds give way to sunshine, a stray shower, and then more dry weather Friday evening and into the weekend. Still just an early preview. We're going to talk more about this tomorrow and through the weekend. The tropical outlook, there is a Gabrielle out there out to sea, a tropical storm, Humberto right out there too, and Invest 94L, which is expected to form into, at minimum, a tropical storm in the next 48 hours. And this is concerning because these two might interact and it could slingshot one of them off either out to sea or potentially into the mainland U.S. So we're going to keep a close eye on it. For now, there's no direct impacts here in central New York, but this could impact the southeast coast. We'll have updates again throughout the next few days. For now, though, here locally, more sunshine moves in heading into the weekend. Gary?
Eric, thanks. Great job there. We are back.
The WKTV Tower Cam is brought to you by the Central Association for the Blind and Visually Impaired. From Central New York's most dependable weather team, here's Chief Meteorologist Bill Curtis.
Good evening. Tracking widespread rain. It's going to come to an end as we head into this evening. Live look in downtown Utica. Been a wet day as expected. We definitely need the rain. We've had such dry weather since July. Behind by almost 6 inches of rainfall. Today was a step in the right direction. A lot of places picked up a half an inch to an inch of rainfall region wide, and that helps. It doesn't end the drought, but it definitely puts us a step in the right direction. A live look at the Yorkville Battery Storm Tracker 2 Doppler radar. The heaviest rain is now pushing to the east, and we're seeing the back edge of this slowly working into western New York, or I should say out towards Syracuse. The weather will gradually improve heading into tonight. By tomorrow night, the weather is looking completely dry. Great weather for high school football. Comfortable, clear. Temperatures will be in the 60s. Looking ahead to the weekend, if you're looking to get fall color to see the best places to go, it's going to be the Adirondacks and the Catskills. They are near peak this weekend. A little bit earlier this year, likely due to the dry weather that we've had. But the colors are great from everything we've been seeing so far. We're encouraging folks to get out and enjoy it. The weather looks very, very nice this weekend. Temperatures, Westernville 70, Dolgeville 67, Little Falls 69, across Southern Valleys, Cooperstown 67, Oneonta 64. Actually feels a little bit warmer than the temperatures suggest because of such high levels of humidity. The dew point in the upper 60s today. And that's all due to an area of low pressure that's swinging through. It's going to move to the east, and behind it, we do get a chance to dry out. The stage is set for high pressure that will build in, setting a stage for a very lovely weekend. Tonight, patchy fog, patchy drizzle, overnight lows drop down into the low 60s. Tomorrow, a gloomy start to the day, cloudy skies early, but we should see a few breaks of sunshine as we get into the afternoon. Temperatures climb into the 70s. Very slight chance of a shower, but it would be very brief. Tomorrow night, partly cloudy skies, overnight lows drop down into the 50s. Saturday looks lovely, lots of sunshine, temperatures in the 70s. Tropics are getting active. We have a newly formed tropical storm Umberto. We also have a new system as well. It hasn't developed into a tropical storm yet, but this could eventually have some impacts along the East Coast as we head into early next week. We'll have to continue to keep an eye on that and keep you posted. Tonight, showers, patchy fog, low of 61. Tomorrow, improving weather. Clouds giving way to sunshine, highs in the low 70s. Beautiful stretch of weather ahead. Lots of sunshine. Warmer than average. Temperatures close to 80 Sunday and Monday. Sunshine continues into next week, Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday. Coming up in a few minutes, there was a confirmed tornado touchdown, not locally, but in New York State. We'll take a look at where that happened.
How many is that now? 7?
It'll be up to 7.
Wow. All right. Thank you, Bill. Fall may mean colorful.
A rainy day. We don't say that too often anymore.
Yeah, we've been getting quite a bit of rain. While we've been seeing rain here in central New York to our east, our neighbors to the east ended up getting a tornado touchdown. This was in Sullivan County. What you're seeing on the screen is radar-confirmed debris. This was around 12:20. And again, this was confirmed. The National Weather Service is heading there tomorrow for the storm survey to see how long the tornado was on the ground and how strong it was. But this is tornado number 7 on the year for New York State, which is pretty close to the average. New York State as a whole gets about 7 to 8 tornadoes per year. Live look at the Yorkville Battery Storm Tracker 2 Doppler radar. Heavier rain continues to move out of our area. We're still seeing some lingering showers this evening. Temperatures have been on the warmer side despite the rain, and it's going to stay warm this week. Temperatures make a run towards 80 degrees as we head into Sunday and Monday. If you're taking the dog out for a walk this evening, keep the umbrella handy. Temperatures will be in the upper 60s. Tonight's featured dog is Archer from Clay. If you want to be part of this, send your dog pictures to Facebook. Just search for Skycast WKTV. This is brought to you by Nissan. Jason, back to you.
Bill, thank you. Catholic Charities has...
The WKTV Tower Cam is brought to you by the Central Association for the Blind and Visually Impaired. From Central New York's most dependable weather team, here's Chief Meteorologist Bill Curtis.
Good evening. We're tracking widespread rain that's moving to the east. We'll get a chance to dry out tonight. And boy, it was a good soaker. Lots of places picked up a half an inch to an inch of rain. and left behind some drizzle and patchy fog. This is a live look at Oneonta, 64 degrees. Be on the lookout for fog this evening and tonight. Could be pretty thick in some areas. Live look at the Yorkville Battery Storm Tracker 2 Doppler radar. The heaviest rain now moving to the east, out towards Albany. We'll be on the back edge of this for the next several hours, so keep the umbrella handy. It'll be generally light going forward. If you do have to cut the lawn or maybe rake the lawn, the weather looks better as we head throughout the course of this weekend. Early tomorrow still looks pretty wet. Maybe a few sprinkles early. And again, with all the rain that's happened today, you might want to give the lawn a chance to dry out. Saturday, Sunday look a lot better. Our MoCast is brought to you by Clinton Tractor. Skywatchers, temperatures in the upper 60s. Bob and Clinton 68, Whitesboro 69, Helen and Cassville 66, down in Norway 66, Jeff and Mohawk 67, Stewart, Cooperstown 66, Worcester with 67. Low pressure continues to move to the east, and again, we're on the back side of this. We will see a drop in humidity tonight and a return to sunshine as we head into tomorrow. The weather is looking really nice. We're setting the stage for an absolutely beautiful fall weekend here in central New York as high pressure returns. Storm Tracker 2 Skycast, patchy fog tonight, mostly cloudy skies. Overnight lows drop down into the low 60s. Tomorrow there could be a very brief shower. I think the majority of the day is dry. It's cloudy, it's gloomy early in the day, and then by the afternoon we should get some breaks of sunshine. Evening looks clear, should be a nice night for high school football. Temperatures will be in the upper 60s by kickoff. Down into the 50s tomorrow night, and then Saturday looks really nice. Sunshine, just a few high clouds spilling in from the south. High temperatures climbing to the mid-70s. Tropics are getting pretty active. We've got Tropical Storm Umberto, but we have this developing system. Right now it doesn't have a name. It's called Investment 94L. When this does form, it could potentially have impacts along the East Coast. National Hurricane Center doesn't put out official maps until these systems become tropical storms, so it's a little early on that. But I can show you where Umberto's going from the National Hurricane Center. This is heading to the west, becoming a major hurricane heading into the weekend. Umberto goes out to sea, but again, that awaited tropical storm is expected to potentially impact the East Coast, likely South Carolina, perhaps North Carolina. Locally, neither one of those is expected to have any impacts. We'll continue to keep an eye on them, though. Showers tonight, patchy fog, low of 61. Tomorrow, decreasing clouds, brief showers possible, 73. Storm Tracker 2 7-day forecast. Lovely weekend ahead. Nice and warm. Temperatures in the mid to upper 70s. Close to 80 Monday. Weather looks nice. Sunshine Tuesday. Cooler weather, but sunshine dominates with high temperatures in the 60s Wednesday and Thursday. We'll be right back.
Nice.
Yeah, and also make sure your storm drains are clear, because even with just any rain, if it doesn't get a chance to go to where it needs to go, it could cause some problems. Rainfall totals, as expected, a half an inch to an inch region-wide. It's still coming down, so we're still adding the numbers here. Woodgate, 1.18 inches. Herkimer picking up 0.64 of an inch. So it was region-wide. Everybody had rain. Some places it came down heavier than others. We're tracking the heaviest rain now moving to the east. There will be patchy fog in the wake of this, so watch out for that tonight. Temperature-wise, 69 degrees. It's very humid. The humidity is exceptionally high for this time of the year, dew point 68, but that number is going to be going down as this weather system departs. Showers, patchy fog overnight. Improving weather tomorrow. Clouds give way to sunshine. The stage is set for lovely weather heading into the weekend and beyond. Rain comes to an end this evening. Again, watch out for some patchy fog. We're taking a look at a nice weekend along with the latest fall color that is quickly emerging across central New York. Going to look at the forecast coming up. Jason, back to you.
Bill, thank you. Rome Free Academy was evacuated this.
The WKTV Tower Cam is brought to you by the Central Association for the Blind and Visually Impaired. From Central New York's most dependable weather team, here's Chief Meteorologist Bill Curtis.
Good evening. Fog has rolled in on Smith Hill, as you can see from our tower cam. Downtown Utica, it's wet, it's dreary, and this is the type of weather we'll be experiencing this evening. Some sprinkles, some patchy fog. The steadiest, heaviest rain will move to the east, and we will slowly dry out. You can see even some thunderstorms continue for the Capital District into eastern New York. All of that is heading Out of our area, we'll again see a few sprinkles and a few very light showers going forward. Things will slowly dry out. Earlier today, shortly after noontime, there was a tornado touchdown in Sullivan County. It was confirmed by debris, the debris signature on the radar. The National Weather Service is going to be conducting a storm survey to figure out exactly what happened and how big this tornado was. But this marks tornado number 7 on the year for New York State, 3 of them happening, of course, in central New York. High school football, the weather looks quiet. Looks like the weather is going to clear out, and it looks great tomorrow evening. Temperatures will be in the 60s. Very comfortable conditions. If you're looking to do some leaf peeping, this is a great weekend to do that if you're heading to the north. The Adirondacks are near peak, and the colors are outstanding this year. It is a little bit early. I think it has to do with the dry weather. A little bit early compared to last year, at least so far. We'll see how this plays out in the Mohawk Valley. Skywatchers checking in, temperatures in the upper 60s, Whitesboro 69, Barneveld 66, Old Forge 66, Middleville 67, Edmonston checking in with 66 degrees, Skenevis 66 as well. Low pressure continues to swing to the east. We'll get a chance to dry out. High pressure builds in. The stage is set for lovely weather heading into the weekend. Tonight we'll get a chance to dry out. Patchy fog, overnight lows drop down into the 60s. I can't rule out a very brief sprinkle tomorrow, but the majority of the day should be great. It's gloomy to start. It's sunny to finish. Temperatures climb into the 70s, breezy conditions. Mostly clear tomorrow night. Overnight lows drop down into the 50s. Lovely weather on Saturday. Sunshine, few high clouds. Temperatures climb into the 70s. The tropics are active. We've got Tropical Storm Umberto, but it's this Investment 94L that meteorologists along the East Coast are watching, because this is likely to become a tropical system, and our computer models are taking this closer to the Carolinas by early next week, so we'll continue to watch that. Showers, patchy fog tonight, low of 61, decreasing clouds tonight, tomorrow rather, a high of 73. Beautiful stretch of weather here. Lots of sunshine, temperatures in the mid-70s Saturday, upper 70s Sunday and Monday, and it stays dry. So it was nice to get the rain today. We definitely need it. Weather's looking beautiful heading into the weekend.
Bill, thank you.
Thank you, Bill. Still to come on News Channel 2 at 6. We'll look at this. Heavy rain and blocked drains caused part of Lincoln Ave between Tracy Street and Noyes Street to flood. Happened right around 3 this afternoon. 2 cars were caught in the high waters. And we're told sewer drains were backed up. Heavy rain had nowhere to go. DPW crews cleared out the drains, and the water went down quickly. Both cars were towed, and the road opened back up just before, as you can see right there, 4 p.m. Time now for a first look at the forecast with Chief Meteorologist Bill Cardis. We dealt with rain today, heavy rain. Some people south of us had issues tonight.
Yeah, this was a confirmed tornado that took place shortly after noontime today. So we're in Sullivan County. This is in downstate New York, not quite near New York City, but in the Catskills.
Okay.
This represents the touchdown, debris being lofted in the air. The tornado survey team is going to be out tomorrow from the National Weather Service, so we'll get an idea of how strong that tornado was, hopefully by the end of the day tomorrow, so we'll keep you posted. By the way, that marks tornado number 7 on the year for New York State. Live look at the Yorkville Battery Storm Tracker 2 Doppler radar. Things are looking quiet. We had some steady rain throughout a good portion of the day. The rain has moved to the east, left behind fog, clouds. A temperature at Griffiths and Rome of 65 degrees. Temperatures are going to be above average as we head into the next several days. You might have noticed the humidity today. Humidity is going to back off, but the temperatures are going to warm up. We'll be close to 80 degrees Sunday and Monday. Temperatures tonight drop down into the low 60s. Mostly cloudy skies, some patchy fog as the kids head off to school tomorrow. I've got to look at the bus stop forecast coming up. Jay's back to you.
Bill, thank you. A few years ago, the
WKTV Tower Cam is brought to you by the Central Association for the Blind and Visually Impaired. From Central New York's most dependable weather team, here's Chief Meteorologist Bill Cardis.
Good evening. We are taking a live look outside downtown Utica. Partly cloudy, or mostly cloudy skies. Been dealing with rain for a good portion of the day, but things are drying out very slowly but surely. Watch out for patchy fog. It is pretty thick in spots, including right here on Smith Hill. A couple of sprinkles out there to the west, and we can't rule out a very brief shower tonight, early tomorrow, but majority of the rain is over. Today's tornado touchdown in Sullivan County puts the count to 7 for New York State. That's happened here. 3 of those tornadoes happened in central New York over the summer. The weather clearing out tomorrow. That includes tomorrow night. Looking at great weather for football. Temperatures fall into the 60s here tomorrow evening. Mostly clear skies, and again, good weather expected for both fans and players. The fall colors are arriving, and by this weekend, we're looking at near peak color for the higher elevations of the Adirondacks and Catskills. This is a good weekend to check it out. The weather is looking fantastic, and the leaf change is ahead of schedule. Typically, it happens about maybe a week later than this, but I think this has to do with the dry weather more than anything else. We're still a few more weeks away from peak color here in the Mohawk Valley. So look at the bigger picture. We've got low pressure heading to the east. That's going to take the rain with it. And we do get a chance to dry out as we head into the weekend. We've got a big dome of high pressure building in from the west, and that is going to clear things out for several days. In fact, this is a long-term weather pattern. It's going to keep us dry for a good portion of the next 7 days. Storm Tracker 2 Skycast, patchy fog tonight, overnight lows drop into the low 60s. Cloudy skies tomorrow to start. It's a gloomy start, and there could be a few sprinkles around early, but dry air does prevail, and we should see a return to sunshine. Temperatures climbing to the 70s. Tomorrow night, mostly clear skies. Overnight lows drop into the 50s. Weather looks nice on Saturday, just a few high clouds. Temperatures in the low 70s. We're watching a couple of tropical systems in the Atlantic. We have Umberto. We also have a developing storm, and it's this one that we do have to watch. Excuse me. This is going to head up the East Coast, and it could impact the Carolinas. I'm going to get a drink of water here. Forecast for tonight: showers, patchy fog, low of 61. Tomorrow, decreasing clouds, 73. Beautiful stretch of weather here going forward. Sunshine Saturday, 75, Sunday, 79. And it's just quiet for the rest of the week. A little bit cooler here Wednesday and Thursday.
If you need a day or two off, now's the time to do it. It's quiet.
There you go.
All right. Thanks, Bill. Coming up next, a local heavy rain and blocked drains causing part of Lincoln Avenue between Tracy Street and Noy Street to flood. Happened about 3 o'clock this afternoon. 2 cars got caught in the higher waters. We're told sewer drains were backed up and the heavy rain had nowhere to go. DPW crews cleaned out the drains and the water went down quickly. Both cars had to be towed and the road opened up just around 4 o'clock this afternoon. Let's bring in Chief Meteorologist Bill Cardis with a first look at the forecast. We got some much needed rain. Heavy rain at times, as you can see. We had issues, but nothing compared to what some folks had to deal with in southern New York.
Yeah, same weather system producing a tornado in Sullivan County. This was confirmed by radar shortly after 12 o'clock. We're waiting for the Binghamton Weather Service to come to town to figure out how big this tornado was.
No injuries or anything, right?
No injuries. So some good news there. Again, Binghamton's going to be surveying this tomorrow, and they will have details on the path and the intensity of this. This would mark tornado number 7 on the year. Live look at the Yorkville Battery Storm Tracker 2 Doppler radar. Things look quiet. The rain has moved to the east. Temperatures are in the 60s. It's still pretty mild out there. 65 degrees. Temperatures are going to stay in the 70s. We've got this warm trend heading straight through the weekend. We get some dry weather too. Tonight, overnight lows drop into the low 60s. Again, patchy fog, a couple of sprinkles out there, but for the most part, we'll get a chance to dry out. A gloomy start to Friday as the kids head off to school, but things look brighter as the kids head home. I've got to look at the bus stop forecast coming up. Jason, back to you.
Bill, thank you. A few years ago,
From Central New York's most dependable weather team, here's Chief Meteorologist Bill Cardis.
Good evening. We're taking a live look in downtown Utica. Things have quieted down. Patchy fog has rolled in, and it's pretty thick in some spots. A few sprinkles on the Yorkville Battery, Storm Tracker 2 Doppler radar. Again, we're kind of seeing the leftovers of the weather system earlier today. This will linger into tonight and tomorrow. It's going to start out pretty gloomy Friday morning, but the weather should improve as we head throughout the afternoon. With today's tornado touchdown in Sullivan County, it marks 7 on the year for New York State as a whole. 3 of those tornadoes happened locally in Oneida County. And that, of course, was over the summer. Weather improves over the next 24 hours. High school football, it should be a beautiful night tomorrow night. Temperatures will be in the 60s at kickoff, and it's going to be very comfortable. We'll stay in the 60s throughout the course of the evening with just a light breeze. Looks like a great weekend to get out and enjoy the fall colors. Conditions are expected to be near peak in the Adirondacks and Catskills, and the weather looks really nice too. So good weekend to check out the fall color. This is a little bit earlier than usual. I think this has to do with the dry weather that we've had. We're still a few weeks away from peak color in the Mohawk Valley. Low pressure continues to move to the east, and we will get a chance to dry out tonight. Big dome of high pressure rolls in from the west, and that's going to set the stage for a lovely weekend. Tonight, patchy fog, generally dry though. Overnight lows drop down into the low 60s. While I can't completely rule out a sprinkle or a brief shower tomorrow, I think the majority of the day looks nice. It's gloomy in the morning, but the sun comes out in the afternoon. Temperatures climb into the low 70s. Mostly clear skies tomorrow night. We're down to the 50s. And then Saturday just features a few high clouds. Dry, partly sunny and warm, temperatures in the low to mid 70s. Tropics are becoming a lot more active. We've got Tropical Storm Umberto. That's going to stay in the Atlantic, but this Investment 94L will eventually become Imelda, which is the next tropical storm on the list. And the trajectory looks like it's going to carry it into the Carolinas. Now, the National Hurricane Center doesn't have an official forecast for this yet because it hasn't developed into a storm, but I think that's going to change too over the next 24 to 36 hours. Again, computer model guidance pushes this into the Carolinas. It stays out of central New York. Both Umberto and the next tropical system, Imelda, should stay out of our area, but of course we'll continue to keep an eye on that. Showers tonight, patchy fog, a low of 61. Tomorrow, a gloomy start to the day, but a nice finish, 73. Storm Tracker 2 7-day forecast. Sunshine heading into the weekend. Should be beautiful both Saturday and Sunday. And warm temperatures in the upper 70s on Sunday, which is way warmer than it usually is in this point in September. But it does start to cool down. The sunshine lasts into most of next week.
And you know what? Even if it's in the 60s, the sun shines out. You still want to get
Nice.
stuff done and do
Yeah.
things. All right, thanks, Bill. Coming up next,